existence once again. Today we are playing Tales of Toyotoki. I hope I pronounced that right. Arrival of the Witch. This is like a linear visual novel, but the story sounds pretty interesting, so I'm excited to play. Also, the art style is really cute too. It's so pretty. It has been decided. March, just as I was about to finish my first year of high school, my aunt handed me a piece... Handed me? I didn't say it like that. Handed me a piece of paper. This is for you. What's this? It's your boarding pass. A one-way ticket to Naha. What for? I nervously asked. No guardian will give their child a boarding pass without a reason. A bad feeling started to grow in my stomach, and that feeling was right on the mark. Starting tomorrow, you're living with your grandpa. In other words, I was going to move. This is how I ended up leaving Tokyo to live in Okinawa. Just like that? Go live elsewhere? Fiction. Of course, I believe you, game. I believe you. This is fiction. It happened, didn't it? It's real. We just don't know it yet. Title screen! Things are about to get serious. This looks so funny. I mean, I wonder if this like a real picture and then they just kind of put a filter on it, or if this is like all drawn out. I'm so curious. As soon as I got off the plane, I knew I was in Okinawa. Posters plastered with the word Minsor. Billboards advertising soki soba, and of course the tropical air. It was the off-season, so there weren't that many tourists. I put on my backpack and made my way to the ferry boarding pass. Or boarding area. From Naha, I took the ferry west. Then I transferred boats again at the terminal. I ate an onigiri while I was waiting. Thank you for telling us that. I really wanted to know. Just something small before I set sail. Solo! All because my aunt's family was moving abroad. I was the only one moving to Okinawa. All thanks to some family matters. I'm used to it though, so it didn't bug me. More than that, I was worried about moving to a remote island. Be quiet, birds! It takes a plane and a ferry to get to the island my grandfather... Stop it, bird! Stop it! It'll be a far cry from the city, that's for sure. They probably won't even have any convenience stores. What if I can't keep up with my Leap comics? No! On vacation now, are we? A senior citizen came up to me, probably found it strange that a young person was traveling alone. Actually, I'm moving here. All by yourself, that must be tough. Where are you moving? Toyotoki Island? Why in the world would you move there? Is there something wrong with it? They don't take too kindly to outsiders, see? Bad news right off the bat. Say, what's your grandfather's last name? Nishimi, I think. My aunt never adopted me, so I still use my given last name. Seeing how it's my grandfather on my father's side, I assume his last name is Nishim too. That's an Okinawan name at least. If that's so, maybe I'll get along. You think so? Us Okinawans aren't all too strict. Take care now, woohoo! He gave me a weird high five. That lifted my spirits a bit. It was time to get on the boat. It was all ocean as far as the eye could see. But despite the view, I wasn't excited. The sea is innocent. It doesn't discriminate. The view put me in a poetic mood. The small boat rolled on for about 30 minutes and finally arrived at the destination, Toyotoki Island, the island I'll call home. Walk for a short while and you'll find mountains. Turn around and you'll see the ocean. No smell of rusting metal or car exhaust, not a single odor from the city was present here. Aside from a building with a lounge, there wasn't too much that stood out at the port either. I didn't have much, but without a map I was in real trouble. I only knew the address to my grandfather's house. I could look it up if I had a smartphone, but of course, I wasn't allowed one. Maybe I should ask around. I pulled myself together and left the port. All of a sudden there were 3 old folks in my path. They were spreading out a banner that read, "Out with the outsiders, Toyotoki Island Seniors Association, not a good start." So that's what they meant by they don't take too kindly to outsiders. What's your business here, outsider? How long are you staying? Where are you staying? What's your number? They drew closer. I tried to keep my distance from them, but someone else appeared behind me. I've been surrounded. Someone help me. Alright everyone, that's enough. Just as I thought I was done for, a girl showed up out of nowhere. A middle school student, maybe. She was short and pale-skinned. A pretty girl. He's a guest of ours, actually, so can you please let him through for my sake? Oh, he's a friend of your family's, is he? Well now, if you say so, you can pass. Sorry we scared you, my boy. Care for some candy. The group of elders quickly walked away. That was quite the change in attitude. Was this girl some important person's granddaughter or something? Alright, follow me, Nishimi. As I stood there confused, the girl beckoned me over. Still processing the situation, I mindlessly followed the pretty girl. Toyotoki Island, an island located east of the Okinawan mainland. From above it looks like a thin, long strip of land stretching north to south. At both ends of the island are mountains, with a residential area and fields sandwiched between them. There is only one village on the island, scattered about to the west near the port were what could barely be considered buildings. The stores are completely different from Tokyo. None of the major chain stores were here, not even a sign. On this island, every shop was individually owned. Over a library? And a community center? Even at scale, there was no comparison. At least that's what I heard. Sure is a small island, isn't it? We're equal to the size of 82 Tokyo domes after all. That's oddly specific. We left the port and walked towards what appeared to be the residential area. I love her facial expressions. The houses here were mostly one story. Red roof tiles seemed like the standard here, which gave the houses an exotic feeling. The Okinawan lion statues that stood at the gate served to accentuate the feeling even more. Who are those people back there anyway? Alright, think of them as a sort of vigilante group. Vigilante group? Yeah, I suppose they're like the police. Someone's luggage was stolen yesterday, so they're a bit on edge. That's why they were questioning me? It's not often we get tourists here. When some of the folks see someone they don't recognize, they just assume they must be up to no good. People haven't gotten used to seeing you yet, so do be careful while you're here. Got it, I'll be careful, but there's something I wanted to ask you. What is it? My secret's being beautiful, is it? Well, no, I wanted to ask, how do you know my name? We've never even met before. What? What? Oh, my. Don't tell me you forgot it. You saying that such a lovely, beautiful girl somehow slipped from your memory. We've met before? Yes, we have. Since you've forgotten, let me reintroduce myself. I am Akari, just a beautiful little girl living on Toyotoki Island. Big yawn. So did my sweetness activate those dull synapses of yours? Nope, not at all. So when did we meet? Hope there's no romanticism in telling you myself. You need to figure that out on your own. Can't you give me a hint? Nope. No, huh? I stared into Akari's face. For someone living in Okinawa, she was fair-skinned, cute too. It wasn't a face I would forget, but for some reason I couldn't remember. We must have met a really long time ago. Wait a minute, does that mean I've been to this island before? I had no memory of it, but there's no way I could have met Akari if I hadn't come here. So that means you know my grandfather, right? Apparently my father was close to your grandfather, that's how we know each other. Ah, so that's why. I felt a wave of emotions, the move. This remote island, a reunion with a cute girl who I have no recollection of. I love when they put that in brackets. Suddenly everything seemed to be in motion. Was this the end of my colorless existence, the beginning of a new vibrant chapter? Could this even be the start of a blossoming romance? Wow, they're jumping ahead here. You don't even remember her. We've been looking for 15 minutes. She brought us into the middle of the village. In front of me was what appeared to be my grandfather's house. Written on the nameplate was the name Nishimi. No need to worry. Token of gratitude will be more than enough. Token of gratitude? Japanese yen, if you will. You can express your gratitude through money. Isn't that nice? In other words, she was asking me to pay up. I felt a cloud casting darkness over my plans for romance. Figures, this is how the world works. I took out a 1,000 yen note out of my wallet, half my entire savings. Barely enough to cover the costs of a walk with a beautiful girl, but I suppose I could give you the family friend discount. He's been friend-zoned! Family friend-zoned! It's a deal. I'll take that note off of your hands. Akari plucked the money from my hands and took off. No small talk, no see you again, whatever. I pulled myself together and turned my attention to my grandfather's house. Upon closer inspection, I could see that the garden was a mess. The garden stones were barely visible from all the weeds sprouting up. I tiptoed my way through the garden so as to avoid any bugs. When I reached the entrance, I breathed in deep. What was I supposed to say when we met? Long time no see, or nice to meet you? Oh, he doesn't even remember having met him? To be on the safe side, I'll stick with thank you for having me. I rang the doorbell. I waited for a bit, but there was no answer. I tried the bell once more. After the third time, I started to get a bad feeling. Could he be gone? The lights weren't on, unlike the other houses. There wasn't any car in the driveway. He's gone out. On the day that his grandson is coming over, what kind of grandparent does that? Well, there's no point waiting around. I guess I'll take a walk. I wonder why he doesn't remember anything about this island in specific. I'm curious. I want to know. Not long after the sun had set, even after it turned dark, my grandfather didn't come back. Well, poop. I had to admit, I didn't expect this turn of events. Would anyone know where my grandfather was? I started by asking the neighbor next door, who's there at such a late hour? I have business with your neighbor, Mr. Nishimi. Would you happen to know where he is? Nishimi, why, he left the island near 6 months back. He left 6 months ago, even though I was supposed to live with him? Do you know where he went? Dunno, I think he mentioned living in a foreign country. A foreign country? What's going on here? By the way, you're not from around here, are you? Did you get permission to be here from the Seniors Association? Of course, I'm actually Akari Akatsumi's guest. A guest of the Akatsumis, eh? Sorry for questioning, yeah. I brought up Akari's name without a second thought. It seems to have some effect on the seniors around here. To use her name should be included in the 1,000 yen I paid her, I believe, so I should take advantage of it. Still, this day is unfolding in entirely unexpected ways. The person I was supposed to live with was nowhere to be seen. This is so rough. Almost feels like the universe is bullying me. If only there was a millionaire fallen over somewhere, then I could help them. Oh, thank you, kind sir. How would you like to have dinner at my place? Turns out they have a child that they were separated from. And boom, turns out I'm their child. What am I doing? Stop daydreaming. Come on, use your head. Think. Okay, so because my grandfather isn't here, I don't have a place to sleep tonight. I need somewhere to stay. A hotel is out of the question. No way would there be any hotels on this island. I don't even have the money for it, in which case I should use the public facilities. And when there's trouble, you should go to the police. I've always had a good relationship with cops, all thanks to how well my aunt raised me, I guess. Good evening. There was a police box on the corner of a residential area. It looked like any other house, so I had a hard time finding it. But thankfully, this should solve my problems. Good evening. Is anyone here? No response. When I looked down, I saw a sign was posted. We're closed for today. Seriously? It's closed just like any other shop. The police box is only open until 7 p.m. Aren't they supposed to be open 24/7? The countryside, man. Crazy. Crazy stuff. Wow, stuff living out there. What am I going to do? First my plans for romance are dashed. Now this. I just need to find a place to stay, any place. Preferably a house with a maid. Wait, with a maid in particular? Of course the maid would be beautiful with huge snap out of it already. Is this guy alright? He needs to get it together. He's in like daydream land. Wake up, man. Wake up. It's all a dream. None of it's real. Look at the cold hard truth. Face the fact. I already know what I need to do. The fact is, I have only one option. Sleep outside. I can't believe this. I mean, I was supposed to be moving here. Why is this happening to me? But it's not like I have any other options. I hobbled along, leaving the police box behind. At some point, I arrived at the eastern part of the island. A sugarcane field. There's a famous song that calls these fields a sugarcane forest. They really are much larger in person. At least 6 feet tall, I'd say. They grow so densely packed that it does feel like a real forest. On the other hand, the harvested areas are barren and rocky. I tried to look for a space where I could sit comfortably. As I was searching, I came across a secret base among the fields. It wasn't exactly a secret anymore, but judging by the primitive-looking hut was made with sugarcane, it had to be someone's secret base. It must have been built by kids on the island, which now means now that it's nighttime, it'll be unoccupied. I'm just happy it has a roof. I threw in my bag and went inside. It was too narrow to stretch out my legs, but if I leaned on my bag and sat cross-legged, I could probably get some sleep. It was still early, but with everything that happened, I was exhausted. Now that I found shelter, my next task should be to find food, but I don't think I can even stand. None of the shops will be open anyway. When I'm hungry, I'll just go to the park and fill up on water. All that's left now is to go to sleep. What are you doing in here? The moment I closed my eyes, someone called out to me. I peeked my head out from the hut. I couldn't help but look bewildered at the sight. There was a girl standing outside. What's more, her appearance looked like she was taken right out of some kind of manga. You're all like manga characters at this point. Her facial features were distinct to start. A distinct sharp face, too distinct to be entirely from Asia. Whether she was tanned or was born that way, her skin was dark golden brown. From her appearance, I assumed she was the same age, if not younger, than I was. Despite that, she had the figure of a full-grown adult, and she had legs that could go on for days. What is this description? She was also well endowed. If she told me she'd crossed her arms to rest her chest on them, I wouldn't have batted an eye. Why does he think like this? Why? And her clothes, they were almost otherworldly. Her clothes like fabric wrapped around her, her cape like something a witch would wear. The pendant necklace around her neck, the earrings hanging from her ears decorated with precious stones. She had rings on both hands, and on her feet were some durable-looking boots. She was wearing some lavish accessories, but strangely didn't come off as gaudy or unpleasant. It felt like they belonged on her. With the moon behind her, it added even more depth to the mysterious air she possessed. It was as if she wasn't part of this world, and this beautiful girl was looking down at me. There was no telling what would happen next. Her aura was more than enough to make me feel that way. That being said, I couldn't bring myself to move. I held my breath, waiting for the girl to continue. Then she finally spoke. I built this, you know. I half expected her to say something cliché like, "You can see me," or at least something along those lines. I mean, why not? It's every boy's dream to encounter the unknown. But alas, this is the real world. Alright, yeah, sorry about that. Judging by the way she spoke, she wanted me gone, so I called out from the hut. As I stood up, a pleasant scent tickled my nose. I think her clothes might have been perfumed with incense. Even after standing up, she seemed tall. She must be at least 5'4". They're considering 5'4" tall? My goodness, what were you thinking? Playing outside this late? Go home already. Contrary to her mysterious outward appearance, the girl spoke perfectly fluent Japanese. She didn't speak any otherworldly dialect, nor did she display any supernatural abilities. Of course, why would she? Fantastical illusions are just that, delusions. They aren't real. I would, but I don't really have a house to go home to. That's why I was borrowing this hut. That won't do. This is my house. This is a house? Did you build it yourself? So what if I did? Oh, nothing. She did. Alright then, leave me alone. You're getting on my nerves. What, is there something else? I don't have a house, so could you teach me how to make a hut, please? I lowered my head. And I don't have anything to eat. Could I maybe have some of your food? I may have been a bit too greedy with that second request. I should just get my own food, really. I don't have a lot to give, alright? Wait, I can? I'm only helping you this one time. Though visibly annoyed, the girl helped me. After a short struggle, I finished making a hut for myself. The girl made it known that she didn't want me anywhere near her, and so I built it on the opposite side of the field. It'd be best to camp near each other so that wild animals won't come near us, but apparently she found me more of a threat. Girls, am I right? I mean, she has a point. Now that my hut was finished, I went over to get food. I decided that the candy and taco in my bag would be a nice gesture of goodwill. So you do have food after all. Taco and candy for dinner? Not unless I was stranded on an island. What are you gonna eat? These, I caught them in the forest. They were snakes. Judging by the blood that was dripping, she must have killed them recently. Am I on a survival show right now? Can you really eat that? No, this is my new jump rope. Of course we can, dummy. Apparently she thought I was joking. It seems like our lifestyle scratched that our whole world views were different. As I stood frozen in shock, she began gathering grass. Before long, she had a campfire going. Then she skewered the snakes with some sticks and put them over a fire. I watched on, remembering that pit vipers are common in Okinawa. It wasn't my problem, though. I remember seeing a sign in the back of the field of warning people of the pit vipers. How long have you been on the island? Since yesterday. I just got here. Are you on a trip or something? On some errands. Oh, okay. I have to say, the people on this island are blessed. She suddenly changed the topic. I didn't really feel like digging any deeper, so I just went along with it. What do you mean by blessed? Everyone wears beautiful clothing, they live in houses, no one goes hungry, and there are no slaves. So what do you normally eat? Bread and cheese, the occasional hunter too. Hunting, right. Where could she be from? Something from my geography class came to mind, a few stories from faraway countries. There are still children out there that work for a single dollar a day who take 3 hours to get to school. Is it alright if I ask if you know where you're from? And why should I tell you? She has a point. How about your name? That's okay, right? Mine is Hikaru Nishimi. It's Lilun. Her name had a mysterious ring to it. Could it be an Indian name, or was it maybe Hispanic? I couldn't quite tell. They're done. Go ahead and eat. Lilun handed me a snake. Whole roasted pit viper head and all. Aren't pit vipers poisonous, or are they venomous? Maybe it's okay to eat as long as they're cooked. This wild lifestyle wasn't something I was used to. I hesitated, but in the end my hunger won. Whole roasted snake, on a scale from inedible to delicious, I'd say it was bearable. Well then, stay safe. Tell that to yourself. After making a bit of small talk, we parted ways. I returned to my hut and sat down against my bag. Now what was I going to do tomorrow? First I should double check my grandfather's house. Where is he now? When will he come back? I need to find someone who knows. If that fails, I'll head to the police box. I can manage one night outside, but 2, that's tough. Worst case scenario, I can't get in contact with my grandfather. What happens when you don't have a guardian anyway? I never expected to be in this kind of situation. I don't know how I would be treated. It's bad for the heart not knowing. The anxiety starts settling in. When it does, I try imagining the worst of the worst. It helps me realize that things wouldn't actually be so bad. It makes me feel better. As of now, the worst case scenarios are either being thrown into an orphanage or having to live on my own. Regardless, it would be far better than my time in Tokyo. This remote island, moving out, meeting beautiful girls. Is that all he thinks about? It started off so well. Why am I surviving out in the wild now? I'm used to being bullied, so this isn't too bad. But any other boy would probably be crying by now. Oh well, whatever. Time to get some sleep. And that was how my first night after moving ended. Okay, I think we'll end off there for now. But thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the story so far. And I will see you next time. Bye bye. 3, 2, 1, poofos.